You know, the Ker's is really small. You know, a lot of people think it's Ken's or I know Ken, or, you know, and that's just the way we set up the business in the beginning. We kind of did the Blue Star, the Dallas Star, and EI, and we did the Ker's instead of putting Crawford, you know, when it fit. So we just KER is a small last name. So we started like that, and we'll end like that. Brilliant on the basics is just whatever you do, be really good at it and be fundamentally strong. If I'm an athlete and I'm a football player, brilliant on the basics is score more touchdowns than the other team does. And our business is customer service well, greet the people at the door, give them a good oversized entree, make sure the manager hits the table, make sure the girls pre-bust the table, make sure that the staff checks back often, make sure we get our food out of the kitchen in 10-12 minutes. In the restaurant business, it's a lot about people. It's a lot about, to execute a perfect meal, you know, you need the hostess, then you need the waitress, then you need the cook, then you need the management, you know, checking on the table. So there's a lot of moving parts to it. So what I like to do is coach or teach people to move on, to be self-sufficient, to not rely on other people to do all the work for them. Because if I train a culture of I'll do it all for you, it'll make them weak, it won't make them strong. We started off with red uniforms way in the day, and, you know, the girls would hike them up, you know, and tie them. But with the belly button rings and all that kind of stuff was coming on, it just didn't really look that good. You know, we had a discussion with Hooters, and that was brought out in a lawsuit that they thought the red was close to the orange when it came to marketing. You know, we're in the food business, and with the wings, it's black's a better color for us. So, you know, that's how we picked the black. We came up with the slogan, need we say more, just, you know, wings and WingHouse, and, you know, what's more to be said, that's what we do. Well, the Naked Wings was done for me by a chef in Louisiana. We had to come up with a signature item, and the chef made it like that, and he cut off the skin, and we marinated it, and it was very prep conscious. In other words, it costs us a lot of time to prep, to cut off all these skin on all these wings. So we keep raising our prices because we want to kind of eliminate them, but they kept selling and selling and selling. So they became like a stable item, and people liked them, you know. So, you know, we've always kept them on the menu, but it's a very high labor intensive prep item because each wing has to have the skin peeled off of it. So it's all right at a small restaurant, but to do a huge chain, you know, it's a little bit labor, you know, intensive, but, you know, it's been good to us, and it's been a good signature item. You know, we've changed the model from what Hooters did in the day. They never sold liquor. They never had a game room. They didn't have a lot of TVs up. So, you know, if Hooters was my competition, I had to become better than they were at what they did. That's why we thought the lawsuit was, I don't know. You can't patent wings. You can't patent beautiful girls. You can't patent dolphin shorts. You know? Yeah. So that was our whole case. Our whole case was based on, how do you patent dolphin? That's a dolphin brand. They're the only people who could use that? No. A lot of the staff are women, so we do something for CASA, which is another group for domestic abuse of women. We've also done Big Brothers and Big Sisters. So we try to support a lot of local stuff, and down the road we'll set up our own foundation and do more, but tailored around children's and women's charities, because that's 95% of our workforce. For rapid growth or big growth, you're going to have to get other people involved, and I see that vehicle being franchising. And I wanted to do franchising back in '98, but I didn't feel we were ready. So now I feel that we're getting ready. I always said that at 25 stores we'll be ready, meaning your systems will be down and you'll be ready to go. And I feel we're not too far away. A couple things, but to grow my brand, franchising, and we would just maintain our corporate stores.
Thanks for coming!
My nickname was Big Daddy in football, you know, and I had that from junior college. Someone started calling me Big Daddy, and it kind of stuck. So all through my college career at Florida and in the pros, my nickname, they want to say Crawford, or they want to say Kerr. They say, what's up, Big Daddy? So when I retired, I put it as a Big Daddy beer. So that's how the name came up.